has pushed the peace process forward. Do you have any hope that there might be a way that the two sides can sit down together in the next couple of weeks?
I think Israel certainly hopes so. I mean, ultimately, we all understand that the solution is negotiations and getting a peace agreement. And that can only happen if we sit down together. Now, if the Palestinians really take a step back and put their UN bid here on hold and return to direct talks in Israel, well, the door is open. We can negotiate. We're ready to negotiate. We've been continuously calling to restart the peace process. If the Palestinians are there, that gives a certain amount of optimism.
Well, as you know, a lot of people think that Israelis continuing to build in the West Bank and East Jerusalem has sort of infringed on certainly the Palestinians' willingness to come to the table. But I wanted to play you something. Our Wolf Blitzer talked to former President Bill Clinton yesterday about what was going on here. And he seemed to suggest that the Israelis actually don't want to sit down at the table. I want you to just listen to this for a minute.
Sooner or later, everybody's going to have to come clean here. If the current government has decided that there will be no Palestinian state and that they have no intention of having a reasonable settlement on the West Bank, and they should say that so the Palestinians can get on with their lives, and they should live with the consequences.
How does that strike you?
Well, Israel wants to see a peace agreement. We want to see a two-state solution. It's been us, the Israeli side, that have been repeatedly calling for the resumption of peace talks, and it's been the Palestinians who, unfortunately, have refused to come to the table. They've been boycotting Israel and boycotting the peace talks. And I would ask the Palestinians, I think it's a fair question, how do you expect to make peace with Israel if you refuse to talk to Israel? Now, we all know that there are differences, there are gaps separating Israelis and Palestinians, everyone knows that. But how are you going to overcome those gaps unless you talk? Now, this strategy of the Palestinians to go to the United Nations was part of avoiding talks with Israel. I hope that what you're reporting is true, that they're taking a step back and they'll return to the peace table.
The phenomenon of the Arab Spring, where we have seen the rights of people out on the streets who have overturned their governments for freer expression, for the ability to vote for their own government. Can you see where that phenomenon that has happened earlier this year puts the President of the United States under intense pressure for Israel to do everything it can to bring the Palestinians to the table, including stopping the West Bank and the East Jerusalem construction?
Can I tell you that no one has to press Israel into making peace? We want to make peace. It's our lives on the line. It's our children going into the army. It's our people being attacked by terrorists. If we can get a peace deal, we'll go for it. And I think that has to be understood. On the larger issue, Israel says, and this is what my Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says, we are willing to start today. We were yesterday. We missed yesterday. Let's start today. Comprehensive talks. All the core issues of the conflict can be on the table. All those difficult issues that separate us. The Palestinians will bring their demands. We will bring our concerns. Let's negotiate. Let's move forward in peace. We owe that to the children of both the Israelis and the Palestinians.